My name is Melanie Gertis. I'm the licensed counselor for Victoria College, and we have Eric here with us from Midcoast Family Services, and he's going to do a presentation on Don't Be Stressed, Time Management is Key.
All right. All right, guys. Can y'all hear me well?
I
Okay.
can.
Okay, cool. Well, my name is Eric Santos, and I work with Midcoast Family Services here in Victoria. And I've been working with Midcoast Family Services for a little over 11 years already. I work in the youth department, and part of my job is to go out to the schools and talk to students about making good choices. And I also put together small groups, and I talk about handling feelings, handling anger, goal setting, peer pressure, stuff like that. It's more like a social emotional learning type of lessons that I do with the students. And then also another really fun, awesome thing that I do with my job um, is that I uh, we do red ribbon shows for the students during Red Ribbon Week, and it's a fun time. Of course, we spend about a week just traveling here in Victoria and then the surrounding areas, just putting on some red ribbon shows for the students and at the elementary schools. And a lot of times these shows are about saying no to drugs and alcohol, peer pressure, saying no, stuff like that. It's just a fun way to get the kids excited about staying drug and alcohol free. And it's a fun time for us as well because we get to act silly and put on a show, and it's a fun thing. It's a fun opportunity for us to perform for the kids. And so, like Melanie said, the presentation is called "Don't Be Stressed. Time Management is Key." You know, I was a college student, and Melanie was a college student before, and I know since y'all pretty much are already got done with midterms and all that, and then in a few weeks you are about to get started with finals here pretty soon, and time management is very, very important, and a lot of times we will feel a little bit stressed, a little bit overwhelmed with everything that's going on with work and school and everything, family even. And so sometimes, we need a little bit of help with time management to help with stress and yeah. So what is time management? The ability to use one's time effectively or productively, especially work, school, and even home life. Okay. Um, Good time management enables an individual to be able to complete tasks on time and to also relieve stress too. Sometimes with poor management skills, sometimes it can lead to lack of sleep and even feeling unhappy too, because of just all the overwhelming feeling of stress and worry, nervousness, scared even, just the feeling of just not knowing if I have enough time to be able to complete a task or to be able to study enough. And so that can cause a lot of unhappiness, and also it can cause a lot of health complications as well. And we're going to cover some of those today. And some of the health complications that can result from is due to stress as well. Um, so of course, there are some ways that we can improve time management, such as writing your schedule down on a piece of paper right before your day starts, uh, prioritize, prioritizing what is important, what is most important, what is least important, and focus on the things that are most important first, and then go on to the least important stuff. Um, and then adjust your sleeping pattern. If you feel like you need more sleep, maybe it's a good idea to go to bed early, if you can, of course. But prioritize, that's important. Sleep is so important, especially with stress and all that. Um, so why is time management so important? Well, why do we need time management? First of all, it improves. So here are some benefits of managing time effectively. First of all, it improves self-discipline. Basically, just knowing, hey, having good time management is a skill. Okay. it's discipline. It takes discipline to be able to write down what is most important, write down your schedule every single day, what you need to do for that day, to-do list. It takes discipline to be able to keep with your schedule and also keep with your to-do list that you have. And then it also just knowing, hey, since it improves self-discipline, of this type of person who is self-disciplined, they stop procrastination dead in its tracks, okay? Before it gets to the point where it's way too late and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I have this paper I need to do, or I have this exam that I have to do, and then you study all night trying to cram for this exam, or trying to write all night, trying to finish this paper. But it's if you're self-disciplined, then you can definitely stop procrastination. um, and then just knowing that, hey, being able to achieve goals of you can achieve goals for yourself to be able to complete tasks as well. And then the next one is it improves quality of work. This is very important because if you have more time to finish your paper, or more time to study, or more time to prepare a presentation or anything like that, um, it's going to be the quality is going to be so much better than trying to rush and try to cram everything um, in a small amount of time. So the quality of work improves if you have more time with completing tasks. And also the third one is winding down is so essential. It is so important to take the time for yourselves. It's okay to relax. It's okay to do things for yourself, to self-care even. And what I mean by self-care is go to the gym, maybe read a book, take a walk outside. If you have kids, maybe spend some time outside with your kids playing a game, or just walking around the neighborhood. Just know that spend at least 30 minutes every single day to wind down. And this is so important to help with your stress level, and to be able to just relax a little bit and take deep breaths during that time as well. And then also, it reduces stress. Take a few moments to reflect on your day. Okay. Do Ask questions such as, do you feel as though you're always busy but accomplish little? Another question you could ask yourself, is there something that's been keeping you up at night with worry? Is there anything that's causing you anxiety that's keeping you up? Are you unable to complete your work? See, these different questions will help you to think, okay, I am pretty stressed right now because I am unable to complete tasks, and it's causing me to feel a lot of stress and anxiety. And so kind of reflect every day, okay, what can I do better to improve this? And that can definitely help with stress and improve time management as well. The next one is it opens up new possibilities. One of the hidden dangers of poor time management is that it kills your chances of broadening your horizons and trying out new things. If you go through life rushing from one task to the next, you never have the chance to explore different opportunities. With more free time, you get to spend time with your friends. You get to spend time with your family, being able to volunteer here in Victoria, or in your hometown. You can definitely have more time to spend time with other people if you have good time management. And then also, along with opening up new possibilities, the next one kind of goes together in a way. It helps your personal relationships, because the more time that you have in spending time, if you make more time to spend with your family or with your friends, the more likely that you are going to improve your personal relationships with them. And of course, we love spending time with our friends. It's one of those times where we can just get away from work, get away from studying, and just have fun with our friends and spend time with them, kind of wind down with them as well. And so if you make the time for that opportunity, then of course it's going to help to improve your personal relationships. And then also going back to the top, it improves your grades and also your career as well. You know, if you have more time in studying, or even having more time in writing your papers, of course, you know, it's gonna improve your grades. You're gonna get that A. You're gonna get that A on your paper, and also, you know, your exam that you're studying for, because you have a lot of time to study. And then also with your career, you're able to improve your skills, and also show that you get to show off your quality of work to your employees, and or your coworkers, or even your boss. And so it improves your grades, and also your career. So it's definitely a good thing. And the next one is, it enhances your decision making ability, being able to decide, okay, what is most important, what is least important, what do I need to do first. And so that kind of goes back to what I was telling you guys about making to-do lists. Make bullet points and say, hey, this is what I need to do. Um, I need to read this chapter. I need to study this. I need to go over this. I need to write this paper right now. What is most important right now to you? And then focus on that. It helps with making the proper decisions. And then the next one is, you get to accomplish more. If you devote more time to studying and all that, instead of waiting to the last minute, you get to accomplish and retain more information if you have proper time management, of course. And then the last one here, it says it stops you from missing opportunities, and that kind of goes back to where I mentioned it opens up new possibilities. Um, poor time management will sometimes destroy productivity, and in turn will cause you to miss opportunities. For example, if a colleague or a classmate consistently outperforms you at work, or does better on a test, they'll likely be promoted, or will likely pass the class, or make a better grade than you. Um, and then and so it just kind of, you know, if you're not taking the time to prepare for that test, or taking the time to prepare for your paper, you're missing out. You're going to be missing out on the opportunities of showing what you are truly capable in. And so that's why time management is so important. It's key to showing what you can do. And then right now, you guys are in college. You are showing your professors about what you can do, and what you know already. And so this can definitely help you in a long run as well. Those professors that you have right now could be your references later on when you are trying to look for a career. And so that's why it's so important to really think about how you are performing in your class right now. Are you doing good? Are you doing, or you feel like you can do better? You know, show your professor that you can do well in their class. Okay. Um, So how to use time management effectively. The next one is set goals correctly. Okay. Um, the important thing is that when you set goals, you have to be specific. Okay. Think about, okay, what is a specific goal that I am wanting to achieve right now? Is it reading this chapter, or is it finishing writing this outline of this chapter, or is it um, writing a page of of a paper that you're trying to complete? Try to be specific of what goal you are trying to achieve. And then the next one is your goal has to be measurable. And what that means is, think about, okay, so if I'm trying to read a chapter in 1 week, or before the next class time starts, okay? So like between now and next week, you need to read a chapter, and the chapter is about 20 to 25 pages. A good way to have a measurable goal is divide the number of pages in that chapter into the number of days that you want to try to complete it. Like, for example, if you are wanting to try to complete the chapter in 5 days from now until, okay, Monday, okay? that's about 5 days. And so what you can do is divide that chapter into 5. And so 20 divided by 5. So that's about 4 pages. Okay, so you would have to read 4 pages every single day, like every single day of those 5 days. And so that's nothing, right? Reading, being able to read 4 pages every day until you complete that chapter, you know, that's definitely you're definitely able to be able to finish that chapter when you need to. So make sure it's measurable, okay? And the next one is attainable. Make sure that you're able to attain that goal. Is it set small goals for yourself, okay? Is it for, especially for right now, okay? If you feel like, okay, I can probably type out a one page from my paper tonight. So try to think, okay, I can try to do that. That's attainable, of course. Or reading 4 or 5 pages from a chapter every night until you're done before the next class period. Um, and then make sure that it's timely. That is so important. Time is important. Since time management is so important, you have to make sure that it's that you're able to finish in a timely manner, of course. And then the next one is prioritize wisely. Okay, that's so important. What is most important? What goal or what like I said before, make a to-do list with bullet points. Okay, and right before your day or right before you start your homework, think about, okay, what is most important? Okay, so I have a paper that's due next week. So I probably need to start you know, already start completing that paper before next week. So that's probably most important for right now. So, and then just kind of prioritize what you need to get done at this moment or that night. Okay. The next one is set time limits to complete a task. Okay, so if you feel like, oh, I can complete a task in an hour, set that as your goal. Say, hey, I can read or I can make this outline of this chapter or part of this chapter in an hour. Okay, make a goal in that way, and then once you complete that goal, once you finish, take a break, of course, and then do what you have to do. Go on to your next to-do list, next thing that you have on your to-do list. And then the next one is take breaks, of course. I already mentioned that. Take a break between tasks. Take a 2-minute break, 5-minute break, whichever you feel that you need, okay? Breaks are so important. Even me working, I feel like, okay, I need to walk away for a little bit. I need to get a drink of water. That's so important so that I can regroup and have enough energy so that I can go back and finish with my task. Because sometimes I know when I was in school, sometimes I would work like up to 2 hours or even 3 hours. I'm like, and then by the end of that time, my brain is so tired, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And so now I'm realizing breaks in between is so important. That it is so important so that you can have enough energy and have enough brain power to be able to complete tasks. And then organize yourself. This is so important. I still, a calendar. Get yourself a calendar. Um, and then like with your classes, color code each class that you have. For example, if your algebra class, if you have an algebra, color code it, however you want. It could be blue, it could be green, whatever, and then make sure that color code is on your calendar. And also, when you have a calendar, make sure you put what you have due for each month. I'm still in school. I'm uh, I'm working on my master's degree right now, and I even do this. I like to, at the very beginning of the semester, when I receive my syllabus, I go through it and I look at, okay, I have this due on this day, and I'll make sure I write what I have due on my calendar, and I have it color coded so I'll know, okay, this is what I have due for this class. Color coding is important because it will help you to keep track what class you have to do, what assignment is due for that class. And like I said, plan ahead. It's so important to plan ahead so that you'll know how much time you need, and you can definitely make plans. Okay, I have this much time I have, and so I probably need to get started on this right now. Or you can think, okay, well, this is further into the semester. I can probably start on other tasks first, and then I can start this. Then give yourself some time, enough time to be able to complete. Make sure you know, okay, if it's a PowerPoint presentation, think about, okay, I probably need a few weeks before the presentation to get started on it. Or if it's a midterm, or if it's a midterm paper, maybe give yourself a month before it's due to get started on it, or a few weeks, so that you'll have enough time to complete it, and it will definitely relieve stress and all that. Okay. All right. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to show a video. This is called the Pomodoro effect, or the Pomodoro studying strategy. It's really cool. I still use this. It's a TED Talk. Are y'all able to see this?
We can see it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. Can y'all hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
No? Okay. Hear it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
When I first told my friends that I was doing a talk on a study method that I use, I could see the collective look of disgust that swept across their faces as they processed what I just told them. So bear with me, as I firmly believe that the Pomodoro Method has the power to change your life. My typical cycle of studying used to start out determined. I would come home, sit down at my desk, and do a couple of worksheets. The only problem was that productiveness only lasted for an hour, as I would easily get distracted. I would usually spend a couple hours on my phone, and then I would snap back into determination, but find myself getting burned out once again as the minutes ticked away. I would work until I physically couldn't anymore. I'd pass out, utterly exhausted. With my rigorous course choice this year, I had made myself promise that I would be productive. I had to succeed, and yet I failed to do that every single day. I struggled to stay afloat, fatigued, stressed, and strained, and I snapped as a result. And quite truthfully, I was disappointed with myself. Then, one day, I came across a video. It was a video telling me how to study better. And I was intrigued by one specific tip, the Pomodoro Method. So what is it exactly? Well, you start out by deciding on a task and estimating the amount of time that it will take you. Take, for instance, this AP World chapter outline. I estimate that it will take me 4 hours of work, give or take. But instead of thinking about the outline as 4 hours of work, I'm going to think about it in terms of 25-minute increments, or Pomodoros. So this outline would, in theory, take me 8 Pomodoros. The next step is to work for those 25 minutes with absolutely no distractions, or you have to restart the Pomodoro. But after that hyper-focused work, you get to reward yourself with a 5-minute break, which serves to recharge and refresh you in preparation for the next Pomodoro. 4 cycles of this pattern of 25 5 minutes, and then you get to take a long break, 15 to 30 minutes. For myself, I typically still try to stay off my phone during these breaks and make some coffee, take a short walk, or when I want to feel super productive, I'll do chores. I know, shocker. This method was actually developed in the 90s by Francisco Cirillo, who named the system Pomodoro, which means tomato in Italian, after this 25-minute kitchen timer that he used to track his work. And it is important to know that although he developed the system for a 25 5-minute pattern, the Pomodoro is a fluid system. It's designed to help you and help you with your work. For myself, I stick to the traditional 25 5-minute pattern when I'm doing worksheets or studying for tests. But for longer, more time-consuming assignments like, let's say, projects or essays, I choose to work for much longer increments and take shorter breaks. So here I am now. I'm still not the perfect student, and I want to iterate that, but the Pomodoro has changed me. It's changed the way I think and act about my work. When needed, I could spend a full day simply working, as I am just recharged and kept stimulated through the whole day. With a timer constantly ticking, I find myself working quickly in order to achieve and accomplish those goals through each 25-minute increment. And quite truthfully, it just feels so much more rewarding and fulfilling. Being able to check things off after the other, watching your pile of work go down, knowing that you accomplished something that day instead of, not to call you out, but wasting 2 hours on Netflix. So now it's my turn to ask you, are you as efficient as you can be? Are you productive, or does your time seem to just slip away? Do you complete your work, or is it scraped together at the last minute? The Pomodoro is a fluid system designed to help you produce higher quality work in a shorter amount of time. But whatever method, I encourage you to think about your time differently, to set goals for yourself and strive to meet them, to set aside the constant distractions and focus on your tasks at hand. You never know how much time you really have until you start to use it, and it looks like my break is over. Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right, can y'all hear me? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So I love that method. Once I learned about it, I was like, oh my gosh, that is such a good idea to split everything up into 25-minute increments and to be able to take about a 5-minute break in between. That feels a lot better than thinking, oh, I'm going to work an hour or I'm going to work 2 hours straight without taking a break, because that can be pretty overwhelming. But if you think of it into 25 increments with 5-minute breaks in between, in these breaks, you can do whatever you want. You can watch TV, go on social media, go outside for a little bit, and then come back and work. It just helps so much with knowing, okay, this is not too bad. I can definitely complete tasks in 25 minutes. And then be able to think of it as the breaks as a reward of finishing a 25-minute break. It definitely helps with that. You can do it. You can definitely do the Pomodoro method in different ways. I know some people they do 50-minute increments and take 10-minute breaks at the end, and then that would be counted as one Pomodoro. You can do it that way if you feel like 15 minutes is something that you could do. Or if you feel like you can't, then you can split it up into two 25-minute increments and for each one, take 5-minute breaks. So it's up to you. For me personally, I like to do the 50-minute method where it's just 50 minutes and then I take 10-minute break and then go back to work. That's just me. But yeah, it definitely helps with being able to complete things and not be so overwhelmed with time and stuff. So it definitely helps. Okay, so a lot of times when we are struggling with lack of time, it can definitely cause us a lot of stress. And what is stress? Stress is a feeling of emotional and physical tension. It comes from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. Um, and with stress, your body's reaction to a challenge or demand. And then sometimes our stress can be something that's positive. It can also help us. Having a little bit of stress can help us in some ways. And it, lets your body know, okay, this is possible danger or anything like that. So stress can be a good thing as well. But if it's too much stress, then it's not good, especially for your body. And then also know that stress is normal. It's a normal feeling that we all have. Um, we all have felt stress before. There's a variety of reasons that we could feel stressed about. It could be school, money, family, personal things going on, anything like that can cause a lot of stress. But the important thing is that it just know that that's a normal feeling and that you're dealing with it appropriately so that your health can stay healthy as well. And then also know that if your stress is causing you a lot of anxiety and even depression as well, it's important to go and talk to somebody that's a professional, a counselor, or anything like that, so that you can talk about what is making you feel stressed or have anxiety or anything like that. Um, but when stress, like I kind of mentioned already, when stress lasts for a long time, then that is when it can harm your health. That's when it can cause a lot of issues with health. And of course, we don't want that. Okay. So the difference between acute and chronic stress, acute is one of those, it lasts for a short time, of course, and then it goes away quickly. For example, some situations would be feeling stress, excuse me, feeling stress right before a test, or for example, feeling stressed about a presentation, anything like that. That's acute stress. It only lasts a short time. It doesn't last too long. Chronic stress can last for a period of time. It can last for months. It can last for weeks. This is when it can be really detrimental to your health, and it's important for someone to be able to cope with that stress appropriately. Stress in your body. When you're experiencing chronic stress, your body stays alert. Even though there's no danger, over time it can put your body at risk for health problems. So this is talking about chronic stress. When someone is in chronic stress for a long period of time, your body is in constant alert. So that means your blood pressure is high, your heart rate is high, heart disease. It could cause diabetes, even obesity as well. Because sometimes when we feel stressed, we can turn to food and all that. And when we feel stressed, it could really harm our metabolism in a lot of different ways. And then, like I mentioned before, it can cause depression and anxiety as well, um, with stress. And then the last one, it can cause skin problems such as acne and eczema. So stress can have a lot of, it can cause a lot of different things to our bodies, and that's why it's so important for us to be able to cope with our stress appropriately. Um, and we'll mention those ways here in a little bit. Signs of too much stress. Our bodies are, they are fascinating. Our bodies are fascinating. They give us signs and signals to let us know when we are feeling angry, or when we're feeling anxiety, or when we are feeling stress. And even our bodies, they give us signs and signals to let us know when we are stressed. For example, number one is the first one is diarrhea and constipation. Forgetfulness, because sometimes when we are stressed, our minds are focused on one constant thing, and then sometimes we may forget about what we have to do, or other responsibilities, and sometimes it can cause us to forget things a little bit. And then also, it can cause frequent aches and pains. That's because when someone is stressed, when we are stressed, we're very tense. We're very tense. Our muscles are very tense, and that can cause a lot of aches, of course, because we're so tense. We're not relaxed. We're not letting our muscles relax. And then, of course, with headaches, a lot of tension, it can cause headaches, and then lack of energy or focus. Um, sometimes when we are so stressed or have high anxiety about something, our energy goes towards that and that can cause us to lose energy. Tiredness, trouble sleeping, and sleeping too much. Um, of course, our minds, when we're stressed, we're constantly thinking about the things that we are worried about or that we have to do. And sometimes when we go to bed, it's like, oh my gosh, that's when our brains don't turn off. And sometimes it can cause for some people to have trouble sleeping. And the next one is upset stomach. And then signs of too much stress. Some people can turn to tobacco, alcohol, or drugs to try to relax. And those things, tobacco, alcohol, and drugs, those are unhealthy ways to be able to cope with stress. There are other healthy ways to be able to cope with stress. No one has to turn to tobacco, alcohol, or drugs to try to help them because those are bad ways to handle our stress. Okay, sometimes it could cause it to cause more stress than it needs to. And then the next one is weight loss or gain. Sometimes with stress, I know for me, like I turn to food, I turn to my favorite snacks, and when I'm stressed out, or sometimes when I know for me when writing a paper, sometimes I have a bowl of M&Ms right beside me, and I eat those when I'm writing because I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit stressed right now. I just need something to eat. But it could cause us to gain weight or even lose weight too, because a lot of times with stress, we may overeat or sometimes we may forget to eat. Okay, and you don't want to do that. And how do you manage your stress? Okay, so there are some ways that we can manage stress appropriately. Okay, and I already mentioned it's important for us to stay away from drugs and alcohol and even tobacco because those are unhealthy ways to cope with our stress. Um, it's important to eat healthy meals with plenty of fruits and veggies. Exercise regularly, get those endorphins going. I know for me, that's one of the things I like to do when I feel stressed or I feel anxiety. I like to go work out. Um, I do CrossFit as well, and so I like to do those things because it helps me to relieve my stress or whatever I'm worried about um, at that time, and it helps me. And it also makes you feel better too because it releases endorphins. And the next one is this is so important because avoid caffeine at all costs because it can increase anxiety and even agitation. Because of the caffeine, it can make our heart rate go fast, and even with anxiety, cause more anxiety. So that's why it's so important to not use caffeine when you're feeling stressed because it can increase anxiety. Do things that you love to do. I love to listen to music. Put on if put on your favorite show, anything that you like that will help you change your mood or get your mind off of something that you feel stressed about. If you like to do arts, that's awesome. If you like to dance around, put on some music and just dance. You can dance by yourself, or you can get your husband or wife or anybody to dance with you. Um, and then also find a good book that you love that's different from your textbooks, of course. Find something that you find enjoyable, that you love, that can keep you away from feeling stressed. And then the next one, it's so important. Get a good amount of rest. Sleep is so important because it helps rest your brain and also gets you ready for the next day. Um, and going if you're going through the day with only having 2 hours of sleep or 3 hours of sleep, of course it's going to cause more anxiety. It's going to make you feel more stressed because you're tired and you're constantly thinking about, okay, I have so much to do but I'm so tired I can't do it, or I don't feel up to doing it because I'm so tired. But if you have enough rest or if you have enough sleep, you're able to feel a little bit better about what you have to do for that day because you have a lot more energy to complete it. And like I said, avoid alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. That's so important. It's so important to stay away from those unhealthy things right there. State feelings in a clear way, of course. If you feel stress, okay, say, you can tell yourself, I am feeling stressed right now. Okay. It's okay to tell yourself, talk to yourself what you're feeling. Or if you have anxiety or if you feel depressed, say, hey, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety right now. My anxiety is up. Okay, what do I need to do to calm myself down right now so that I can be able to finish this paper, or so that I can be able to write that outline or study for that final. It's so important. The next one is, of course, decrease negative self-talk. Always stay positive. That's important. Be with friends who help you cope in a positive way. Be with people that make you happy. Be with people that you enjoy being around. People um, that make you laugh. Get your mind off of school for a little bit, or work, or anything, or family even. That's important. This goes back to taking care of yourself, self-care, being with friends, or um, being with people that you care about. That can definitely help. Talk to caring adults or other trusted friends about what you're stressed about. Um, Laugh. It's okay to laugh. Okay. I know you may feel silly, but this might sound silly, but if you're in your car and you're starting to feel stressed about something, just start laughing. Okay, I know that sounds silly, but just laugh out loud as you can, because you're by yourself. No one, you have, no shame. Okay, just laugh out loud. As I promise you, I know I don't want y'all to think I'm a little bit crazy, uh, but but sometimes I do that. If I'm in my car by myself and I'm starting to feel stressed about something, I stop myself and say, okay, I'm feeling stressed right now. Okay, I think in my head something really, really funny, and I start laughing. I start laughing out loud. And I promise you, when you do that, your mood just changes automatically. And it's a great thing. Definitely a great thing. I know it sounds silly, but it helps. All right. Um, Manage time appropriately. That can definitely help with stress. And we talked about having good time management, and having good relaxation techniques like deep breathing, muscle relaxation, and meditation. That's important. Helps calm your muscles and helps calm your brain as well. Okay, so we're going to practice some coping techniques. Okay. So this is called the deep breathing exercise. Okay, I have the instructions right here, but they're very simple. I'm sure all of you are sitting in your chair right now. So stand a little bit upright in your chair, feet flat on the floor, hands to your side or on your lap. Okay, and make sure that you are comfortable and relaxed. Okay. And we're going to try this exercise. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 4. Okay, we're going to do that twice. Okay, so here it goes. We're going to try it. Okay, are y'all ready? Okay, we're going to breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I love doing that. It helps with anxiety, it helps with stress. Just breathing out cleansing breaths every time can definitely help with stress. Just breathing out that stress that you're holding in, or breathing out that anxiety that you're feeling about anything that you have anxiety about. Just being able to do that just definitely helps a lot. And visual imagery. Okay, this is really cool. This is basically just thinking to yourself, closing your eyes, relaxing every muscle in your body, from your head all the way down to your toes. Just thinking, closing your eyes and thinking of of a place that you want to go. It could be a beach. It could be, it's like taking a trip in your mind somewhere else so that you can, somewhere that you can relax and feel comfortable, take your mind off what you're stressed about or something that you feel anxiety about. Um, it can definitely help with that. Okay. You could take a trip to Europe, you can take a trip to the beach, anywhere. Okay. It's really, really cool. And just create your own visual scenario. Okay. Could be that you're at the beach, you have your toes in the sand, you start feeling the sand on in between your toes, you start hearing the waves of the ocean, you start feeling the sun on your skin. Just think about that scenery and just really placing yourself there for a moment. Okay. I really like this one because it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun so that you kind of take a trip somewhere else. Okay. All right. So we are done. Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
And then I'm going to stop recording now.
Okay.